It seems to be the case that most people are so thoroughly subjective that nothing really interests them but themselves. They always think of their own case as soon as any remark is made, and their whole attention is engrossed and absorbed by the merest reference to anything which affects them personally, be it never so remote, with the result being that they have no power left in attempting to form an objective view of things, should the conversation take that turn. Neither can they admit any validity in arguments which tell against their interests or their vanity. Hence, their attention is easily distracted. They are so readily offended, insulted, or annoyed that in discussing any impersonal matter with them, no care is too great to avoid letting your remarks bear the slightest possible reference to the very sensitive individuals whom you have before you. For anything you may say will perhaps hurt their feelings. A great many people really care about nothing that does not affect them personally. True and striking observations, along with subtle and witty things, are lost upon them. They cannot understand or feel them. But anything that disturbs their petty vanity in the most remote and indirect way, or reflects upon their exceedingly precious selves, to that they are most tenderly sensitive. In this respect, they are like the little dog whose toes you are so apt to tread upon inadvertently. You know it by the shrill bark it sets up. Or they resemble a sick man covered with sores and boils, with whom the greatest care must be taken to avoid unnecessarily handling. And in some people this feeling reaches such a point that if they are talking with anyone, and he exhibits or does not sufficiently conceal his intelligence and capacity for discernment, they look upon it as a downright insult, although for the moment they hide their ill will. And the unsuspecting author of it afterwards ruminates in vain upon their conduct, and racks his brain to discover what he could have possibly done to excite such malice and hatred. But it is just as easy to flatter and win them over, and this is why their judgment is usually so corrupt, and why their opinions are swayed, not by what is really true and right, but by the favor of the party or class to which they belong. And the ultimate reason of it all is that in such people, force of will greatly predominates over force of knowledge, and hence their meager intellect is wholly given up to the service of the will, and can never free itself from that service for even a moment.